Let's have a little heart to heart. Everybody is wrong about the Snap specs, including Snap. These are the 2024 developer version of the Snap Spectacles, and everyone's wrong about them. Let's start with the weight. Just to get the meme out the way, Evan Spiegel's ears fold over like that in real life too. I've met the guy in real life multiple times. The new ones, the largest version only weighs like 136 grams, and this developer version doesn't weigh much at all. The weight is not at all a problem. Anyway, what these actually are is not what people think. These are not a competitor to the Meta Ray-Ban displays. No, not even close. These do actual augmented reality. When you think of augmented reality, you think of things, attached to the real world. These do that. They have a LiDAR sensor to do real world scaling and mapping your environment. You can use computer vision to track things in the environment, like your hands. You can do all kinds of stuff with that. They also are completely pass-through. It's not like the Vision Pro where it's like cameras feeding a screen. No, I'm seeing the real world. And that is another reason these are so freaking cool, because they have a 7 millisecond latency on the new consumer version, and nobody else has that latency. And it's super big for AR glasses because when you see the real world, even minor latency issues are noticeable. It's not like streaming VR glasses or the way like the Vision Pro and these other screen-based ones do it through cameras. Like that latency can be as high as like 30 milliseconds before you really notice it and get motion sick or anything like that. These, you see the real world. It's just sight versus a VR headset. It's sight versus how your muscles feel, kind of. These have to accurately, while you're moving your head, track the real world. It's very difficult, and Snap pulled it off at 7 milliseconds. So these are, in my opinion, the best AR headset on the market. Untethered, I mean, they're amazing. And yet, everyone is just comparing them to the Meta Ray-Ban displays. Why is Snap wrong about them? Because they're making everyone compare them to the Meta Ray-Ban displays and other fashion, everyday wearable type things, because they're not educating people on what these actually are. And if they would, a lot of people would be hype about them because they're freaking cool, dude. This is like actual augmented reality right now, coming out to consumers finally on a big scale. Like, people want this, but they don't want an everyday wearable that looks like these. They don't even want AR every day. I don't think I have a use case for something like this being worn the entire day, but you know what people love to use? An iPad. That's what I see these as. In my opinion, they are in the same realm as an iPad. You're going to carry it with you, pretty likely. You're not going to use it 24/7, but you're going to use it a lot. And you're going to pull it out every time you get a cool use case for it, just like an iPad, and you're willing to pay $2,000 for them, like an iPad. Okay, I know there's cheaper iPads out there, but you get the point. If Snap marketed these properly as the best AR headset untethered on the market, I mean, people would be hype about them. A lot of tech nerds and everybody would be freaking out and placing pre-orders like crazy. But instead, they're trying to market it as some everyday wearable, not educating people on how cool these actually are and what they really do. And now everyone's just comparing them to like the Meta Ray-Bans, which are smaller because they're just a display. They don't do AR. Snapchat, Snap, whatever, specs. Please market them properly as a amazing AR headset, which they are, the best in my opinion. Market them as that. Don't market them as a fashion accessory, because here's what's going to happen. If we get over the hump of people caring about what they look like, which that's the big thing consumers are flaming them for right now. If we get over that hump somehow, these YouTube reviewers are going to get their hands on the new specs. And you know what the first thing they're going to say, because Snap has marketed them as this everyday wearable item? The battery life sucks. And it doesn't really suck for an untethered AR headset, but it sucks for an everyday wearable, because a few hours of battery life with decent usage is not going to cut it. And they're not going to have that on a new version. They mentioned the battery life in the announcement. So they should be pitched as a tool. So you put them away when you're not using them. In between your couple sessions a day, you use them or whatever, you put it back in the charging case, and then they're always ready to go. That's how they should be marketed. They are an incredible piece of technology. I have no regrets pre-ordering them, and I will post all my thoughts when I get them. I don't think I'll get them early because I didn't really publicly at least post a whole bunch with the specs. I mainly did tests, so I didn't really get into any of their fancy early access programs for them. But when I get them, likely the same time most other people that pre-order them get them later this year, I'll talk about them. But yeah, just wanted to ramble here for a little bit. Hopefully I didn't blab too much. But my honest thoughts on the specs as somebody in the AR industry and has had experience with other AR headsets and even the actual developer version of the Snap specs, which by the way, this was the case that the dev kit has. So the whole charging case the new ones have is a lot better than just this little flap. But yeah, thank you all for watching. See y'all in the next video. I'm also working on a Lens Studio tips and tricks video. So if you got any cool tips and tricks for Lens Studio, drop them in the comments here as well, or any of my videos. I've got a whole list of them myself though, but yeah. I also will make some tutorials on making stuff for the specs when the consumer version's out, because I want to kind of see what people are really into the most, you know, what they want to make, and then I'll make tutorials about them, and maybe I'll make some like starter tutorials and stuff too. But yeah, we'll see what comes. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.